What is the root cause behind the troubles? When all your relationships end up in a bubble, hey, it's just a relationship that sometimes makes you trip. It's just a relationship.
Welcome to Just Relationships Podcast. I am Terrence Payton, known to many as simply TP, where we unpack the ties that bind and we have conversations that define our connections. Listen, I was watching a TikTok from pastor, author, worship leader Daryl Black. And it inspired me to research about some of the things he talked about and how I was affected by this very same thing about identity. So let me start with this. I want to encourage you to be courageous, enough to be different. Actually, let me say that differently. Be courageous enough to be you. Because being you is what the meeting needs. It's what your family needs. It's what this world that we live in needs. I know it sounds simple, but it's actually one of the hardest things to do because most people don't struggle with ability. They struggle with identity. We have learned how to perform. We have learned how to adapt. We've learned how to become who people expect us to be. But somewhere along the way, we stop becoming who God created us to be. Now, here's the problem that we have. You can spend your whole life being accepted by people and still be disconnected from your purpose. Because your assignment is not attached to a version of you who you created. It's attached to who God designed. So what does it mean to be fully you? It doesn't mean do whatever you feel. It doesn't mean live your truth. It means aligning your life with God's truth about you. Because the real you is not who culture shaped. The real you is who God formed. You see, the Bible said in Psalms 139:14, you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Now, this implies that you have been created with great reverence, awe, and respect for God's power, not terror. It means that you have been set apart, unique, and intricately designed with intentionality and care. It means this is a reminder to self worth that every person is created on purpose, for a purpose, not by mistake. It also fosters a secure identity by shifting self worth from external validation to divine intentionality. You see, it cultivates an appreciation for one's own uniqueness, recognizing that every aspect of a person reflects God's creativity, God's purpose, and careful mastery craftsmanship. You see, by embracing the truth that you are fearfully and wonderfully made, you move away from comparison and toward honoring your individuality, seeing as God's deliberate, wonderful work. But now, here where it gets real. You can't become who God created you to be while holding on to who you've been pretending to be. Now, and some of you might feel stuck. But what it really is, you're just hiding. You're hiding behind somebody else's approval, hiding behind comparison to someone or something, hiding behind comfort, and then calling it wisdom. But it's not wisdom, it's fear. And fear will have you living a life that looks right on the outside, but feels empty on the inside. So let me challenge you be courageous enough to be you. Not that edited version, not that filtered version, not that Instagram or Facebook version, and not the version that fits in. The version that walks with God, the version that tells the truth, the version that steps out on faith, the version that doesn't shrink back. Because when you become who God created you to be, you don't just change your life, you impact every room you walk in, every meeting, every relationship, and every opportunity. Listen, the world doesn't need another version of someone else. It needs the real you. Surrender to God. So stop asking, how do I fit into this? Why am I stuck? And start asking, who did God create me to be? And for those of you that are stuck trying to find your identity, remember this: you were created in the image of God. And this suggests that your value is not through performance, your titles and awards, but is intrinsic quality you were born with. You have to do a mindset shift, moving from I am what I achieved or haven't achieved or past mistakes that don't define you to I am valuable because God created me. You know, in this fast paced world that we live in, it's so easy to confuse your job title, your social status, or your bank account, or lack thereof, with your identity. But that's not who you are. It's not something you do or something you have. You have to remember God sent his son to die on the cross for you, sin and faults and mistakes and all. That's how important you are to him. A major hurdle in finding identity is the feeling of not being enough. Who told you that? Was it your parents and your rejection and abandonment issues? Did you wake up one day and decide that you weren't enough? For whom? Certainly not the one who created you. Listen, all my life, I didn't know who I was. I created an identity of who I thought people would like. I had low self worth. At times, I couldn't feel love, loneliness, and that was a huge struggle. And those feelings of rejection and abandonment that ruled my very existence lasted way too long in my life. You see, my father died when I was 19 years old. And I struggled so much in my relationships and spent a lot of days struggling to trust, to bond with people, and struggle to handle conflict, and was always defensive, still trying to prove that I was enough. And to very recent years, I was still trying to prove to him, my father, that I was enough. Now, he had been gone for 20 plus years. Why? I didn't know who I was in God. I was waiting and desiring to be affirmed by my earthly father when God had affirmed me before the beginning of time. You see, in Jeremiah 1:5, it says, before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. And Psalm 139:13-16, for you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book. And then this, John 15:16. You did not choose me, but I chose you and appointed you so that you might go and bear fruit. Now, if this doesn't show you that you are important just the way God created you, then go and find a Christian counselor and seek counseling. You have to believe that you are important for yourself, not for your parents, not for your kids, not for your coworkers, not for your boss, not for your friends. You have to understand that God does not make mistakes, and you surely aren't one. Listen, let me leave you with this. Because of grace, you start from a place of being fully known and fully loved. And the difference is that you don't do good things to become someone. You do good things because you are someone. You are working from victory. You ain't working for it. Listen, I hope you all hear me. This is your boy, Terrence Payton, known to many as TP. Listen, I hope you hear what I'm saying. You are important. You are the main piece of the puzzle for all the things that you are trying to do. And God created you specifically for a purpose, on purpose. You're not a mistake. And you have to start believing it about yourself. Quit doing the comparisons that other people do. It's not necessary because you're uniquely you. You have gifts that are in you that God created specifically for you, and you are to use them. You're gifting on your job, you're gifted in the neighborhood, you're gifted in your family, whatever it may be, know that you are uniquely made. You don't have to struggle with your identity and who you are like I did most of my life, trying to figure out who I was, trying to be a people pleaser, suffering from rejection, not knowing that I was good enough. You are good enough. Understand that. You are good enough the way God created you to be. Now, do we have to continue to get better as an individual? Absolutely. The word says when you know better, you do better. You don't stay stuck with being the same person, even the same person you created, and even the same person that you're growing with. You continue to grow. You continue to get better. You're designed to be God's perfect masterpiece. Remember that. All the things, the things that people have said about you, the fun that people have made about you, really go through one ear and go out the other. Matter of fact, don't even go in the ear, just go over and you not pay attention to. But you have to be able to know your truth and know who you are. Hey, y'all, love talking to you. Stay bold, stay relational. This is your boy TP and Just Relationship Podcast. I'm out.
Ooh, oh, ooh. Why is it easy and hard to have a good relationship? What is the root cause behind the troubles? When all your relationships end up in a bubble, hey, it's just a relationship that sometimes makes you trip. It's just a relationship.